Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Perfect Timepiece channel. Now, it is a brand new year. Hello 2017. We have wonderful things coming to the channel, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I am going to talk about my personal goals for my watch collection, and hopefully you guys will be able to share with me in the comment section down below some of your goals for your collection, and maybe you can give me some friendly suggestions on things that I kind of left out in this list. So I have some notes with me today. I'm gonna try not to just stare at the page and read. So the first thing that I'd like to add to my collection is a Tudor. I've really been looking at Tudor. I think that their standard of quality is really superb. And I do want to buy a vintage piece simply because I want to save some money, and I do kind of like the vintage pieces a little more. So the one that I'm hoping to get is the Tudor Oyster date, and this is maybe in two-tone. I don't necessarily want the bracelet per se. I could have it on leather to save even more money. I just really like the flouted bezel. You guys are gonna get really mad at me for mispronouncing things. But I believe that this watch can be found for about $2,000 to $1,500, obviously used, but in good condition. So, and that's kind of the upper limit to what I'm gonna spend on a single watch this year, I think. So up next, we have a company that you guys definitely know that I am a fan of. This is Christopher Ward, and in this list of 5 watches that I want to acquire next year, I actually have 2 Christopher Wards. So I am definitely a little biased toward Christopher Ward. They are my Christopher Ward Trident Pro is the most expensive watch that I own, and it is also the best watch that I have experienced to date. So that being said, I do want to continue my line of research into the Christopher Ward brand and see just what they offer. Now, you guys know that if you're watch nerds and watch geeks like me, you know that Christopher Ward is kind of struggling to find a footing. They don't really have a great reputation in the community because they have all Swiss parts, but they're manufactured in England, and they're not manufactured. They're like designed in England, but you know, they're Swiss made, and people get all confused about that. Anyway, their prices are really low and really competitive, so that's what makes me excited about this. Up first, we have a really long serial number. This is the Christopher Ward C1 Grand Malvern Power Reserve. So this watch is a dress watch. I realize that I have way too many of these in my collection right now. And this has a 5-day power reserve, however, and it does have a little bit of a different style than I'm used to with that 12 numeral and that 6 numeral. They also have a beautiful video on the Christopher Ward website. Maybe I'll play a little clip of that. I can't play it with audio because they have a song in there. But I do think that this watch is outstandingly beautiful. I like the way that they have the power reserve kind of, you know, tucked away and cleanly integrated into the dial, and I think the watch stands out with beautiful blue hands and a nice little textured dial there. So and again, you can actually see the 2 different barrels which hold the mechanical power of the watch through the display back case, which I think is amazing. Now up next, we actually have another Christopher Ward. This is the Christopher Ward C1000 Typhoon, like cockpit edition or whatever. And this is only 1.4 thousand. And you might be saying like, okay, $1,400, that's a lot of money to spend on a watch. And it is, but the cool thing about this watch is that it actually is a chronograph. And chronographs can be extremely expensive, Swiss chronographs especially. So I think that this price from Christopher Ward is extremely, extremely competitive. Now this uses an ETA 7750 movement, so it doesn't have a 5-day power reserve, but a lot of the Christopher Ward pieces in the above $1,000 to under $2,000 price range do have 5-day power reserves. And really the reason that I want to add this one to my collection, it kind of checks off 2 boxes for me. It's an aviation watch, which I don't have. It's PVD, which I haven't experienced. And it is a chronograph, which I also have not personally owned. So honestly, like, I think the yellow accenting with the gray on this dial just is amazing, and I think it is well worth the money, and I think since it's a limited edition, it'll probably keep its value. I could be wrong about that though. For number 4, we have another aviation piece. I think my order of preference is like dress watch, diver, and aviation are kind of tied next, like neck and neck, and then like maybe racing, and I don't know. So up next we have an Oris, because I've been talking about Oris a lot in this channel. I've only heard good things about their build quality, and honestly I want to pit them up against Christopher Ward. I think they are fairly similar, and I think they are fairly competitive. You know, which one will win out? I don't know. It is worth noting that Oris generally uses Sellita movements in their watches, while Christopher Ward uses ETA movements. So that is a notch up for Christopher Ward. But the one that I want from Oris is the Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot. Now this can be found in the gray market for about $900. The thing that I love about this is the numerals and the really, the wonderful sword hands. They are very, very easy to read. They're a very bright white against a black background. And then the other thing that I love about this watch is that it has a red tipped second hand. If you guys saw yesterday's video, I kind of have a thing for watches with red tipped second hands. And honestly, like, for $900 you get that knurling on the bezel, sapphire crystal on the front, and just that really beautiful and clean design, which is kind of my thing. Yeah, so up next, the 5th watch and the 5th brand that I want to experience this year is actually Steinhardt. Now, I know that this is a bit of a controversial brand, to say the least, because mostly what they do is they take designs from like Rolex and then they make them in $500 watches. Now, I don't really have an opinion about that. I don't really, have strong feelings about that. A lot of people in the community do. But the actual watch that I want to get is not a homage watch or not a knockoff watch from Rolex. This is the Steinhardt Ocean 500 Titanium. Now, it is a diving watch and it does look very much like the Submariner, but it does have a little bit of some differences in terms of the styling, and I think it is enough that it is not really considered a homage, and it is kind of its own watch. And really the thing that I get to experience with this watch is Steinhardt as a brand, and it is titanium, which is something that I haven't really experienced before with watches. So I think that that watch kind of perfectly rounds out kind of my experience with some of the lower end brands. I'm not saying that I haven't, that I haven't left things out. I'm definitely expecting you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. And all of that being said, these are just the top 5 that I'm looking forward to the most in the next year. You know, I do expect to review some more Seikos. I do expect to get my hands on a few more Orient watches, and obviously all of that content will be coming to the channel. So these are the watches that are really, really, really exciting to me, and kind of is what's driving my current passion for watches. So let me know in the comment section down below what your watch goals are for your collection in the new year. And as always, thanks for watching. My name is Josh, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.